So today we are looking at which is the best small business accounting software to use for your business. Essentially, there's two of the biggest players in the UK, and that's Xero and Sage. So we're going to look at which one is going to be better for your business. There's lots of pros and cons on both. Now, Sage is certainly the one that's much more established, but Xero has actually been out now for around 15 years, so it's doing well. And also, in terms of a tipping point, Xero is one of the most familiar within the market. So, which one's easiest to use? This is where we first of all started, because a good accounts package should just be really easy to use. Most businesses use an accounts package for recording all the numbers and then actually doing a lot of the, whether it's your year end or whether it's your quarterly VAT returns. But we looked at which one's easy. Now, Xero is certainly, it's got a very user-friendly interface. It's cloud-based, which means it's super easy. You can log in on any device, even mobile devices. It's very easy to navigate. And it is good for just getting your top-level key financial information. However, with that in mind, it can sometimes be a little bit too basic. Whereas when we look at something like Sage, yes, there's a lot more to learn, but generally it's got more advanced accounting tools. It's got really powerful financial insights, so the dashboard and the information it can give you is really powerful. And there are some really good customized options. Now, the big difference is that they are actually designed in very different ways. The main thing with Sage is that it's actually built to do everything that you need to do within a business. Whereas with Xero, it's not actually designed in that way. It's supposed to be the main central platform, but the power of Xero is really the apps and everything that goes with it. So when we look at the features and functionality, Xero has got, it's obviously you can do invoicing and billing through there. The recurring billing is particularly good. The bank reconciliation is very good. It has got the ability to bolt in with payroll, but you will need an add-on to do that side of it. So just the standard Xero out of, straight out of the blocks doesn't have that. There is inventory management, but again, it's not necessarily built for that. And one of the biggest frustrations with Xero is that it won't allow a negative product. So that basically means, say for example, you've got products that you maybe need to direct ship, then it won't actually allow the product to be sold if it goes into a negative in the inventory. So that is one little tip that, it can be a little bit frustrating. So sometimes you need to either set up services or maybe just put in an amount of stock that you don't necessarily have. There is multi-currency support, but the key feature is that there are over 1,000 apps that integrate directly with Xero. So it's a very, very flexible platform. Sage, really good when it comes to its actual built-in financial reporting. Payroll, again, different plans have got payroll. The tax calculation, there's forecasting and budgeting tools that are within Sage, comprehensive VAT tools, and there is really strong inventory management. Now, with Sage, there's lots of different types of Sage, but certainly if you were going full blown with it, then there is Sage Line 200, and that's got many different layers of the inventory, whereas Xero just doesn't really touch on that. So if you wanted to push more with those sides of things, then you would need to actually look at a separate product and then just have Xero that bolts into it. So in terms of pricing, relatively similar. So the main Sage, that's not the Sage, the cloud version, is a lot more expensive. But when we're doing this, we're looking at how much it is for the platforms. So Xero starters from £15, and then Sage is from £14 per month. So and then there's a couple of different models that go up from there. Now, scalability. So when we're looking at this, we're looking at how much is your business going to look at scaling, and what elements from the accounting does it need to scale. So Xero does allow to add lots of users, but the main thing is that it relies on is the way that it integrates. So if, for example, you wanted to do more reporting, then you could just look at a much better specifically made reporting platform that will then bolt into Xero. Same with if you were a manufacturing firm using an ERP system, and you can also bolt in with CRM systems. So there's lots of different mainstream platforms, and Xero will just tie nicely into it. With Sage, again, it is highly scalable, but it's also within the Sage platform itself, it will have those extra complexities. So it really depends on how it's set up. The way that I always enlighten it to is, say for example, with Sage, it tries to kind of do everything itself, whereas with Xero, it's a little bit like having a mobile phone. So let's say the iPhone, in itself, it doesn't actually do that much that you probably use on a day-to-day basis. The power is how it allows you to use the apps. An example might be if you're using a mobile phone and you use, for example, you'll use Facebook, you'll use WhatsApp, you'll use Google Maps. All of these different things, they're not actually built into the phone itself. They're just something that you can install on the phone and it runs them really well. And this is a similar methodology of how Xero works. It's great at doing its baseline, but then if you want anything more complex, you're probably better to use a direct app and have it so that it integrates fully into Xero. You can also use other tools where it will actually write the scripts to allow you to connect to different parts. And then in terms of customer support, I mean 24/7 support from Xero, but it doesn't have phone support. So this is the thing, it's very much an online platform, whereas with Sage there is phone, email and chat support. Now with Sage there is also the option of actually paying extra and getting slightly higher level support, whereas with Xero it's relatively limited. But often the way that Xero's set up is it actually has lots of training for accountants. So there is a very good chance that you may not need Xero training or help directly with Xero, because it's your accountant that will give you the support and help on using Xero. So we've already alluded to, we did rate them on integrations, and yes, Xero has got over 1,000 apps. Sage has got quite a few apps, but to be honest, Sage is a little bit late to the party when it comes to the apps. So we're sure that it will catch up, and most of the mainstream ones are now starting to have that integration with Sage. But at the moment, if you just look on a base level, Xero has a lot more custom specific apps for it to run with. So we've tried to put down why should you choose either? Because quite frankly, they're both good platforms. So we're not necessarily going to say one is better than the other, but we do think that Xero is more for if you're a smaller business, maybe a freelancer. It's simple, it's user-friendly, it's just very easy and intuitive straight out of the box, and it tries not to use too much technical jargon. The way that it bolts in with all the banks and you can do the reconcile, it is very straightforward, but you do, as you start to use it more, you will need a lot more third-party integrations. Whereas with Sage, this is more what we would say, yes, you can use it as a small business, and their lower base level is directly in competition with Xero for small businesses. But generally we would say with Sage, it's much more around sort of medium and large businesses. If you're looking for, better financial reporting, maybe it's cash flow forecasting as well, then Sage is probably going to give you a lot more information within its platform. And we would also say that the customer service and its ability for the scalability is probably slightly better than Xero's. So if you're unsure of what accounting package to use, or maybe it's what apps and things can go with these, then we're always here to help. But also we've got our learning center. So if you click the link, you can check out our learning center. We've got lots of different videos and demonstrations on different software. But if you're unsure, connect with us, and we hope you enjoyed this video.